Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome to the Pipe Report. Two quick things before I begin this article. Number one, I just watched the movie Carrie. It was based on a Stephen King novel, and you really feel bad for Carrie, but at the end, it seemed really satisfying the way she got revenge on those who bullied her. She also did end up killing those who did nothing wrong to her, but I guess what can you do when your telekinesis abilities takes over and you go on a mass murdering spree? The second thing before I start the article is I have just hit 500 subs. I want to thank everybody who subbed me. I gained about 30 subs in the last 2 days based on one video I did, which deals with the whole Debbie Wasserman Schultz brother being the one he's overseeing the Awan case. So there's a lot of corruption there. So I do want to thank all new subscribers. My 1 year anniversary is on August 3rd. My first year goal was 50,000 views with 200 subs. Well, I've hit 500 subs with over 103,000 views. So I've done a lot better than I initially thought. So thank you again. Now, let's go over the article. Trump threatens to end healthcare bailouts for insurers. President Trump on Saturday threatened to end healthcare bailouts for insurers and lawmakers in Washington as he continues to push Congress to pass legislation repealing Obamacare. If a new healthcare bill is not approved quickly, bailouts for insurance companies and bailouts for members of Congress will end very soon, Trump tweeted Saturday afternoon. He also tweeted, after 7 years of talking repeal and replace, the people of our great country are still being forced to live with imploding Obamacare. That's also interesting. When Obama was president, I think I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure there's about 40 different times that the Republicans sent a repeal to Obama to repeal Obamacare. 40 times. I have to double check that, but I'm pretty positive 40 times. And now, none of them want to do that anymore, which tells me it was nothing but show. They did that for political gain, for political support that they are fighting the evil Obama. But when it comes down to it, the Republicans are just as hypocritical as the Democrats. They are. Trump appears to be talking about cost-sharing subsidies for insurers. Mick Mulvaney, director of OMB, said, "We're looking at cost-sharing payments on a month-to-month basis. We made them today. We'll make them tomorrow," Mulvaney said. Some conservatives have also been pushing the White House to end subsidies to lawmakers and their employees made possible by the Office of Personnel Management Exemption. And this shouldn't happen. In a total free enterprise and open market society, there wouldn't be subsidies. Subsidies drive up costs. You want to know why food is expensive, especially food from farmers? Is because farmer subsidies. The more subsidies you have, the more government gets involved, the more the prices go up. In a free society with no subsidies, prices would go down. You would see massive job growth if the government stopped with the subsidies, because supply and demand and competition would be rampant, because people would have to lower their prices, or else their competitors would probably get more business to them. But basically, because they get subsidies from the government, they don't have to lower their prices because they get paid no matter what. That's just based on the food aspect. But this is about all type of business. So if we really want to bring down costs of everything, we really want to bring this country back around to economic prosperity, it would be best to get rid of all government subsidies and focus more on open market economies. That's what this country was founded on. Free enterprise and open market economies. You build your own future. You're not given your future from the government. You create your life. But things have changed now. Now, there is so much reliance to government. Expansion of government only leads to reliance on government. That's why it's imperative to stop the ever massive influx of government spending on more government programs and government departments. We do not need it. It does not help us. That's why our national debt is almost $20 trillion. That's why, even if we balance the budget, our national debt will continue to grow because our national debt is based on interest that is compounded. I won't get into the Federal Reserve here. I've done plenty of videos on the Federal Reserve, but Get rid of the Fed, and you'll see economic prosperity just by that one simple thing. But there are other avenues to explore if we really want to make this country great. Where was I at here? It's also troubling that the Trump administration used executive powers to bail out insurers, but will not use his lawful executive power to end Obama's order exempting members of Congress from paying the full Obamacare freight. That is true. That is true. A good way to get people in Congress to actually abide by what the people want is to make them have to follow the same regulations that the people do. So instead of them having great health care and great pensions and great salary, they should get what other people get. They should not be making $180,000 a year. You know what they could do? How about every single congressman gets paid what their state makes for an average wage. So say the state of South Dakota was $60,000 a year. The senators of South Dakota should only make $60,000 a year. I think this would give them more incentive to help their state out. But then again, you would have more states are better than others, so there will be some type of unfairness there. But they should not be making $180,000 a year. They should cut that in half, maybe more, because the founding fathers wanted people to go to session, after session, go home and live their normal lives. There weren't career politicians back then. There were politicians that had two different jobs. Nowadays, all the politicians of Congress are career politicians. They get great benefits. They get benefits that you and I would never ever see, never ever have. And it's amazing. So I think we really have to get Congress at an even plateau with the American people so they can start working for us because they are part of us. As of right now, there is a gap. There is a differential between the average person and people in Congress. So people in Congress get all these benefits, the average person doesn't. We get screwed. And people in Congress don't understand that because they're not living the same lifestyle that we are. How can you experience somebody else's pain and suffering when you are only looking down on them and you're not living it? You're not living their lifestyle with them. It's a lot harder to fix things that way when you don't know what needs to be fixed because you never experienced it yourself. Senate Republicans have repeatedly tried, but failed, to pass legislation that eliminates or overhauls former Obama's 2010 health care law. Mitch McConnell had hoped to pass a skinny repeal measure late Thursday, but when the vote finally took place early Friday morning, 3 Republicans, John McCain, Susan Collins, and Lisa Murkowski, joined with Democrats in opposition, killing the plan. Now, I saw in Stick's video that there was a source who said John McCain denied the vote on purpose, voted no on purpose, so he could screw Trump out of making America great again. Whether this is true is open for speculation, but that seems like the type of behavior John McCain has. Remember, John McCain is a hardcore neocon. His life ambition was to initiate World War III with Russia. That's all he ever wanted. He wants perennial war. He wants to perpetuate a world war and make it everlasting. Why? Because it fuels the military-industrial complex. Because war is money. Because globalism can be expanded. The U.S. will expand its power and influence and have resources all over the world. When it comes down to it, neoconservatives, all they want to do is cause war, which leads to suffering, which leads to people begging for the U.S. to come save them. The more war the U.S. initiates, the more the countries need us to protect them. We institute the war, and then we have to remain in the war to protect the countries suffering from our war. That's like I guess that's a catch-22 if I've ever seen one. So, John McCain, retire, get the hell out of Congress, you neocon, warmongering piece of crap. You are not a good person. Your brain cancer should have told you, hey, I need to get out. I should not be in Congress anymore because I don't care about the people. I care about my own self-interest, my own self-preservation, and a world war with Russia. Regarding this too, I'm no fan of the House healthcare replace bill and the Senate healthcare replace bill. However, if Ted Cruz's amendment was added in the Senate replace bill, in the Senate bill here that was voted no, then the Senate should have voted yes on it. And they should have took that bill to conference committee and work with the House Republicans and other members of Congress to then produce a bill that satisfies everyone. It's possible. So I'm not a fan of the bills individually, but you can add amendments to bills. And this skinny repeal probably should have been done if Ted Cruz's amendment was actually involved in it, if it was actually incorporated into it. But I don't know if it was. I have to go do more research on that. But that, in a nutshell, I can see why Trump is mad. And if it's true that John McCain did this on purpose, just to try to harm Donald Trump's support, then he really is the piece of shit that we all assume he is. Which makes sense because you listen to him, all he wants to do is bring pain, death, war, destruction, globalism. He's a horrible person. He's a horrible human being. And with that, I'm done.